In a busy city called Seoul, 7 young boys carried quiet dreams in their hearts. They were not rich. They were not famous. Most people did not know their names. But each of them loved music, and each of them believed that music could change their lives. Kim Namjoon was the first. He loved words and poetry. He wrote lyrics late at night, sitting in a small room with a notebook and a pen. Music was his safe place. He believed that rap could tell the truth about life. People around him did not always understand his dream, but he did not give up. Min Yoongi came from a small town. His family struggled with money. He worked part-time jobs and hurt his shoulder while delivering goods. Still, he loved music more than anything. He made beats on an old computer and dreamed of becoming a producer. Many nights he felt tired and lonely, but he kept going. Young Hoseok loved dance. He smiled a lot, but his journey was not easy. He practiced for hours until his body ached. Sometimes he felt unsure of himself, but when he danced, his heart felt free. Dance gave him hope. Kim Seokjin joined later. He was studying acting and had no music training at first. He felt shy and afraid because others seemed more talented. Still, he worked hard every day. He stayed late to practice singing and dancing. He believed effort could change everything. Park Jimin was gentle and kind. He was very strict with himself. He practiced until he collapsed from exhaustion. He wanted to be perfect. Sometimes he doubted his own worth, but deep inside, he wanted to stand on stage and shine. Kim Taehyung was different and playful. He loved jazz and old songs. He was not even supposed to audition, but fate brought him there. His voice was deep and warm. People noticed his unique charm, but his road was still long. John Jungkook was the youngest. He was only a boy when he left his home to follow his dream. He missed his family and felt scared, but he admired the older members and wanted to learn from them. He practiced singing, dancing, and everything he could. These 7 boys trained under a small company called Big Hit Entertainment. The company was not famous. The building was small. Sometimes there was not enough food. Sometimes there was no money for proper equipment. They shared tiny rooms and simple meals. They failed many times. People laughed at them. Some said they would never succeed. But they had one strong thing: each other. They listened to each other's stories. They shared pain, fear, and hope. They promised to walk together, no matter how hard the road became. Slowly, their bond grew stronger than doubt. This was the beginning, not of fame, but of belief. The days after training became even harder. The 7 boys practiced from morning until late at night. Their bodies were tired and their minds felt heavy. Sometimes they slept only a few hours. Sometimes they went to practice without eating enough. Still, they told themselves, just one more day. The company was small, and money was always a problem. There were days when the lights in the practice room felt too bright, and the room felt too quiet. No fans waited outside. No reporters came. They trained without knowing if anyone would ever listen to their music. Namjoon felt a big responsibility. As the leader, he worried about everyone. He wondered if he was good enough to guide the team. He wrote lyrics about youth, pain, and dreams. Writing helped him release his fears, but doubt often followed him. Yoongi's shoulder pain became worse. Some days, he could not lift his arm easily. He kept quiet because he did not want to worry the others. At night, he wondered if his body could last this long. Music was his dream, but pain was his reality. Hoseok tried to stay bright. He smiled and encouraged everyone, but when he was alone, he cried. He was afraid of being replaced. He was afraid of not being good enough. Still, he chose to be strong for the team. Jin struggled with confidence. He felt behind the others. He practiced singing again and again, even when his voice cracked. He watched videos late at night, trying to learn faster. He believed effort could fill the gap. Jimin pushed himself too hard. He worried about his weight and appearance. He skipped meals and practiced more than anyone. The pressure hurt him deeply, but he wanted to prove his worth. He wanted to stand on stage without fear. Taehyung often felt misunderstood. His personality was different, and sometimes people did not take him seriously. He wondered if he truly belonged there. Still, he held on to his love for music and his own unique style. Jungkook felt the pressure of being the youngest. He wanted to do well so he would not disappoint the others. He trained until his muscles shook. The older members became his family. They guided him and protected him. Then came their debut in 2013. They released their first song and stood on stage as BTS. The moment was exciting, but also scary. Their outfits were simple. Their stage was small. Some people ignored them. Some criticized them. The world did not change overnight. They felt disappointed when albums did not sell well, awards did not come. Sometimes they questioned their choices. Is this the right path? They asked silently. But when they looked at each other, they found strength. They remembered their promise to walk together. Even in the hardest days, they did not stop. Because dreams do not grow in comfort. After their debut, BTS slowly began to change. They realized that to survive, they had to be honest. They could not copy others. They needed to tell their own story. Music was not just sound anymore. It became their voice. Namjoon led this change. He believed lyrics should speak about real life. BTS started writing songs about school pressure, fear of the future, and feeling lost. These were feelings many young people understood. Even if BTS was not famous, their words reached hearts. Yoongi shared his pain through music. He wrote about money problems, depression, and self-doubt. His honesty was raw and real. He did not hide his scars. He turned his struggles into strength. Hoseok added hope and energy. His music talked about dreams and courage. Even when life was hard, he believed in smiling forward. His bright presence gave balance to the team. Jin began to grow in confidence. His voice became stronger. He learned to believe in himself. Slowly, he realized that he was not behind. He was simply growing at his own pace. Jimin found his identity. He stopped trying to be perfect for others. He focused on expressing emotions through dance. His performances became deeper and more powerful. People started to notice his sincerity. Taehyung's unique voice finally found space. His deep tone and emotional style stood out. He learned that being different was not a weakness. It was his strength. Jungkook improved every day. He listened, learned, and practiced. Singing, dancing, and performing became natural to him. He wanted to be someone the team could rely on. Slowly, fans began to appear. They called themselves ARMY. They were not many at first, but they were loyal. They listened carefully to BTS's music. They felt understood. BTS and ARMY grew together. The group still faced criticism. Some people said they would never make it. Some said their music was too different, but BTS did not stop. They kept writing, practicing, and performing. Small stages became bigger. Small cheers became louder. BTS traveled to more places, meeting fans who sang along to their songs. They realized their music was reaching beyond Korea. One day, BTS won their first music show award. They cried on stage. The tears were not just for joy. They were for every painful night, every doubt, and every moment they almost gave up. They were still far from the top, but they had found something more important: their true voice. As BTS continued to grow, something unexpected happened. Their music began to travel beyond Korea. People in other countries started listening, even though they did not understand every word. The emotions were enough. The message was clear. BTS talked about loving yourself, facing fear, and not giving up. These were universal feelings. Fans from different cultures felt connected. The ARMY grew larger every day. Social media became an important bridge. BTS shared their thoughts, jokes, and daily lives online. They felt close to their fans. They spoke honestly, not like distant stars. This made people trust them. The group started touring overseas. At first, the venues were small. Sometimes they worried no one would come. But when they stepped on stage, they saw fans holding light sticks and singing their songs. Some fans cried. Some waved flags from different countries. BTS realized their dream was becoming real. Awards slowly followed. BTS won more music shows. Then they won major awards in Korea. Each trophy felt heavy because it carried years of struggle. They bowed deeply, thankful for every chance. Then came moments no one expected. BTS appeared on international charts. Their albums ranked high. Their music videos reached millions of views. People who once ignored them began to notice. They spoke at important places, sharing messages of self-love and hope. Namjoon stood in front of world leaders and spoke about youth and dreams. His voice was calm but strong. The boy who once wrote lyrics alone now spoke to the world. Yoongi saw his dreams as a producer come true. Hoseok's dance inspired millions. Jin stood proudly, confident in his voice. Jimin moved hearts with every performance. Taehyung charmed audiences with his uniqueness. Jungkook amazed people with his talent. Still, fame was not easy. The pressure increased, schedules became tight, they missed home and family. Sometimes, the weight of expectations felt heavy, but they reminded each other why they started. They remembered the small room, the simple meals, the nights of doubt. BTS did not forget where they came from. Their bond grew even stronger. They leaned on each other when tired. They laughed together when stressed. They cried together when overwhelmed. They were no longer just idols from a small company. They were voices for a generation. And yet, the journey was not over. As BTS continued to grow, something unexpected happened. Their music began to travel beyond Korea. People in other countries started listening, even though they did not understand every word. The emotions were enough. The message was clear. BTS talked about loving yourself, facing fear, and not giving up. These were universal feelings. Fans from different cultures felt connected. The ARMY grew larger every day. Social media became an important bridge. BTS shared their thoughts, jokes, and daily lives online. They felt close to their fans. They spoke honestly, not like distant stars. This made people trust them. The group started touring overseas. At first, the venues were small. Sometimes they worried no one would come. But when they stepped on stage, they saw fans holding light sticks and singing their songs. Some fans cried. Some waved flags from different countries. BTS realized their dream was becoming real. Awards slowly followed. BTS won more music shows. Then they won major awards in Korea. Each trophy felt heavy because it carried years of struggle. They bowed deeply, thankful for every chance. Then came moments no one expected. BTS appeared on international charts. Their albums ranked high. Their music videos reached millions of views. People who once ignored them began to notice. They spoke at important places, sharing messages of self-love and hope. Namjoon stood in front of world leaders and spoke about youth and dreams. His voice was calm but strong. The boy who once wrote lyrics alone now spoke to the world. Yoongi saw his dreams as a producer come true. Hoseok's dance inspired millions. Jin stood proudly, confident in his voice. Jimin moved hearts with every performance. Taehyung charmed audiences with his uniqueness. Jungkook amazed people with his talent. Still, fame was not easy. The pressure increased, schedules became tight, they missed home and family. Sometimes, the weight of expectations felt heavy, but they reminded each other why they started. They remembered the small room, the simple meals, the nights of doubt. BTS did not forget where they came from. Their bond grew even stronger. They leaned on each other when tired. They laughed together when stressed. They cried together when overwhelmed. They were no longer just idols from a small company. They were voices for a generation. And yet, the journey was not over. As BTS reached the top, the world watched them closely. Stadiums filled with fans, tickets sold out in minutes. Their songs played everywhere, on the radio, in cars, in small rooms where dreams were born. They had reached stardom, but they knew this was not the end of their story. With success came responsibility. BTS understood that their words mattered. Many young people looked up to them, so they chose to speak honestly, just like before. They talked about mental health, self-love, fear, and healing. They reminded fans that it was okay to feel weak sometimes. Namjoon often spoke about learning to love yourself. He said no one is perfect and that is okay. His words felt like a warm hand on the shoulder. Yoongi shared that success does not erase pain. He spoke about anxiety and sadness. He showed that even strong people struggle. His honesty gave comfort to many. Hoseok continued to spread hope and light. He believed happiness was something you could choose, even on hard days. His energy reminded people to keep moving forward. Jin showed that confidence grows with time. He learned to love himself fully. He reminded others that everyone blooms at their own pace. Jimin spoke gently about pressure and self-worth. He encouraged people to be kind to themselves. His sincerity touched many hearts. Taehyung embraced his uniqueness. He showed that being different is beautiful. His art and music inspired creativity and freedom. Jungkook grew from a shy boy into a confident artist. He thanked the members for raising him. He showed that growth comes from love and support. Even with all the fame, BTS stayed close. They ate together when they could. They laughed at old memories. They remembered the days when they almost gave up. Those memories kept them grounded. One day, BTS decided to take time to grow individually. It was not a goodbye. It was a new chapter. They trusted each other and their bond. They knew they would meet again, stronger than before. Their story was never just about music. It was about 7 boys who believed in each other. About choosing honesty over fear. About turning pain into purpose. From a small room to the world stage, BTS showed that dreams are possible, not because the road is easy, but because courage is stronger than doubt. And their story continues. In every heart they touched,